I wanted to actually record a video on how I'm using Audacity to identify the frequency of various notes by doing an example. And this is one that we actually have the frequency for. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up Audacity, which I have here. Now this is the record button, and this is the stop button. And we're going to go ahead and actually use those right now to get a sample and then get its frequency. So this is D. I'm going to just go ahead and play it. While it's playing, we record. You see that I stopped it. I stopped the video. And now I'm going to go into Audacity and get the frequency of the note. So I actually stretch the bottom here to get myself a little bit more space. Now this is a measure effectively of the note's amplitude, which is for our purposes a measure of its loudness or the energy that it carries. That doesn't tell us the frequency of the note. To get the frequency, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the audio track and we're going to get a spectrogram. And what a spectrogram does is it lists all the frequencies that make up a sound. What we heard was a pure sound, a pure note. That's why it sounded so clear, or if you were paying attention, so annoying. So we go into the spectrogram, and it's kind of messy. So what we're going to do is we're going to clean it up to really focus on the note that we heard. So you click Audio Track again. You go into Spectrogram Settings. Once you're there, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the window size option. You go all the way down to most narrowband. Click OK. And what you'll notice is there's a really clear reddish purple band. That's the most concentrated note, the loudest in what we're hearing. That's what we call the fundamental frequency. All these other notes are what we call overtones. We'll talk about those a little bit later in this lab. And for now, we're going to focus on this. So what we're going to do is we want to get the exact frequency of the note. So according to the YouTube video, that's 587.33 hertz. Let's see how accurate this recording is. So we go to the spectrogram settings, and let's see. Let's just make our maximum frequency a little bit lower. It goes all the way up to 8,000 hertz. Why don't we go down to, say, 750, just to see what that does. All right, so clearly we know our note is somewhere between 550 and 600. Let's narrow in again. So I'll go to spectrogram settings, and I'll go to 550 and 600 maximum. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. And what we're seeing is right here, it looks like our note is somewhere between 585 and 590 if you look at the concentration. So you could eyeball it and say, oh, it's about 587.5 if you wanted to. Some people like to get super specific. And we could actually do that and say, okay, 585, 590, and let's see what it gets us. And then what we see is the most concentrated part here is this white part. And that's really where it's super concentrated. And what we're seeing is it's around 587. What did the video tell us? 587.33. So that's a really good result. So in other words, you're going to be using the spectrogram setting and the spectrogram in order to figure out exactly what is the frequency of the note that you're hearing. So in this lab, I'm going to have you identify 4 notes, and then I'm going to have you look at a lower version of one of the notes to see if you can figure out the relation between a low note and a high note. And the specific distance will be an octave. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a chord. And you have to figure out which notes make up the chord. So that's an introduction to how to use Audacity. I hope that's helpful. And knock yourselves out.